I'm here. Thank you. Kaloku indoda umXhosa into zasezilalini. Thank you very much for having me in your program tonight to talk on a very, very sensitive and delicate topic, that of trafficking in persons, as I was requested to share with you tonight. My name is Petros Majola, and ndingowasengqushwa ezilalini indoda umXhosa. But today or tonight I will be sharing so that all of us can begin to respond to trafficking in persons in our little corners where we are operating. I have been made aware that I will be talking to members of the Wesley Guild of the Methodist Church of Southern Africa. But I know that there are those other members who might have joined us tonight who are not members of the Methodist Church. Maybe they are non-Christians, but when we talk about trafficking in persons, we talk about a program, or I'll put it, a complex issue that affects everyone, whether you are a Christian or non-Christian. I'm a member of the Methodist Church at Tukusaget in Pedi. Superintendent Minister is Reverend Zweli Mkani. So I am a member in good standing. I know those questions sometimes would come up and say, who are you? I'm also a coordinator for Justice and Service in the Grahamstown Synod, and also a member of Trafficking in Persons Forum in the province of the Eastern Cape. The forum is chaired by Department of Justice and Constitutional Development. But we're also involved in quite a number of programs. There is interim steering committee for the province of the Eastern Cape to respond on gender-based violence and femicide, which was established by the President of the Republic as well as the Premier in the Eastern Cape, Oscar Mabuyane, where government is responding to GBV. But if we talk about trafficking in persons, I just want to, not to define or to unpack who traffic, but just to draw your attention to the word traffic, so that we all understand when we talk trafficking in persons. When you talk traffic, your mind will immediately jump into the road where there is a motor vehicle that is moving. One would talk about a traffic flow. One would talk about a traffic jam. One would talk about a traffic police, a traffic officer, you name it. So trafficking has to do with a movement from this point to another point. And therefore, trafficking in persons or human trafficking is a movement of persons for a purpose of exploitation. So traffic is when there is someone that has been moved from this point to another point, the moment you move that person, there is trafficking involved. But now we are saying for purposes of exploitation. It could be forced labor. It could be sexual exploitation. So when you are moving that person from one point to another, then it means that there is human trafficking or trafficking in persons that has taken place in that particular situation. So that is what we are going to talk about tonight. Trafficking in persons is a movement of persons for a particular purpose from one point to another, as defined in Prevention and Combating of Trafficking in Persons Act 7 of 2013. Trafficking in persons would mean anything that has to do with delivery of persons, with recruitment of persons, with transportation of persons, with transfer, with harboring, with selling, exchanging of persons, leasing and receiving of persons for purposes of exploitation, whether it happens within the Republic of South Africa, within a province, or across the province and across the country. Then persons could be trafficked from South Africa to another country, from another country into the Republic of South Africa. Now, one could say to me, how would I avoid being trafficked? But I would say everyone could fall into that trap, because human traffickers work as a syndicate. That is why it falls under organized crime. Because those people, they do their own calculations. You know, they work like the architects. An architect can draw a plan of your house before you even start building the house and give you the picture of a house when it is complete and say to you, this is how your house would look like when it is done. So human traffickers would sit down and draw their map and start studying the person who is their target, so that by the time they come to your home, already they know everything about you, they know everything about your family, they know everything about your friends, about your school, about the church. And then, in most cases, when they come to you, they will say, we know you, you live with your grandfather who is suffering from asthma. He is not getting any old age pension or disability grant. You survive at your home on child support grant for 2 children, and then you begin to say, how does this person know about myself? Because they have studied before they come to you, so that by the time you are approached, these people are speaking your language. In some cases, the human traffickers would come to your village if you live in a village, would come to your area if you're living in Port Elizabeth, in Cape Town, in Joburg, in Bloemfontein, you name it, and started recruiting people around who are surrounding you, and they give them a reasonable amount of money so that they get all the information about yourself. And then when they approach you, they already know everything. They can even tell you that you go to a worship service on Sunday, you leave home at 9:15. By 10 to 10, you are at church. So those people know their business. I'm talking to you in South Africa. And at times, I don't like when I talk to South Africa, I don't like to talk about Japan, India, Thailand, you name it. But I like to give you a picture and an idea of what is happening within the Republic of South Africa. However, we also need to share those case studies and say in Japan, this is what has happened in that particular year. Because when you look at India as a country, you will find that it is on the top when we talk about the statistics on trafficking in persons. We talk millions of women and children who are trafficked for purposes of forced labor, for purposes of sexual exploitation, etc. Some children and youth, and I must say this, who live in very difficult circumstances. We need to understand that those children, at times, they go to bed in an empty stomach. They wake up the following morning, the stomach is still empty. Even if you go to church every week, maybe 2 days in a week, and on a Sunday, you're not expecting a miracle. Where you will leave home, the fridge is empty. When you come back from church, there's groceries in the house. You don't even know who delivered. So we are not saying, because I go to church, I am expecting God to deliver the food in my house. But we are saying, please, my Lord, make me strong to face the situation that I am in. And help me to find a job so that I can then be able to look after my family. So that is the reason we wake up early every day and worship the Almighty. You must always keep in mind that there are those most unfortunate children who do not have someone to put a slice of bread on the table. And sometimes, because they depend on the handouts, sometimes when one comes, I remember a situation at Lusikisiki where we had a case of a 12-year-old, if she was not 11, but between 11 and 12. There was no one at home to feed them. No one at home to put something on the table. What she would do, she would welcome everyone who comes in and offer something to eat in exchange for sex. And at times, men can be cruel because that child was very, very young, still in a tender age, for an old man to say, I can give you this money in exchange for sex. This man is old enough to say, I will give you the money so that you buy something to eat. But sometimes sex is in demand. I even say, you can look at a double-story house and you stand outside and if sex was like a cell phone, and you put it on top of the roof and say, gentlemen, go and get it, it's yours. We won't even need a step ladder. We would try to fly to the top of the roof just to get into where sex is. Because the sex demand sometimes makes or drives people so crazy that when someone rapes a woman tonight for 10 minutes, that person will go to jail for 25 years for something he enjoyed for 10 minutes. And therefore, we are then saying that children are in danger because there are people who need or who want sex every minute. They can't breathe without sex. It's like an oxygen. Sex to this man is oxygen. If he wants to breathe, there must be sex involved. And then we are saying then, young women and children, including the Wesley Guild members, everyone is exposed, everyone is in danger. Now, we have two sides here when we talk trafficking in persons, because on the other side, as I was requested, there is forced marriages or arranged marriages, ukutwala, the abduction, where young girls are not given an opportunity of being children and enjoy being children. But parents would negotiate on their behalf. When a child comes back from school, you drop your books there in your room, and then you are told that you must go to that village, go and fetch, my man is 250 rand, and When you get to the house of Mamu Makade, you are told that it's non-negotiable. You do it. And you become a young bride. The next day, Utishala doesn't see you in the classroom. Where is so and so? I went he lays all Utishala. It's non-negotiable. And then we are saying then, because this child has been taken from home and transferred to another home for purposes of becoming a young bride in exchange for cash in a form of ilobola, then ukutwala was then incorporated into the legislation which we call Prevention and Combating of Trafficking in Persons Act 7 of 2013. So that and then when we talk about arresting and charging those people who are involved, ekuthwaleni komntwana, lo bethwala, nalo bethunga amadaki, nalo bemnxibisa lama print madaki, nalo so-called husband. Bonke abo bantu didimbela eziseleni. Ngoba akho umyeni uzathi ngumfana apha athwalele umfazi. Abantwana abathena they are very young, but boyikuthela namantombazana bafuna uthwalelwa. Doesn't work like that. But ladies and gentlemen, fellow Christians, when I say fellow Christians, I'm not going to say fellow South Africans, so don't switch off your phones. I am saying then to you members of the Wesley Guild, trafficking in persons is a modern day slavery, and everybody is making a lot of money out of it. Once you are in, I must repeat this one. Once you are in, there is no turning back. Once you are in, there is no turning back. Whether you like it or not, once you are in, there is no turning back. Because the first thing traffickers would do is to take away the connection between yourself and your family. So there will be no more communication. Your mobile phone will be taken away. So you must be very careful. The moment you fall into that trap, into the hands of human traffickers, then that is it. There is no way that you can ever go back home. You will be in the hands of those people. Now, the painful part is that when you are sold, you sleep with this one, you sleep with the next one, you sleep with the next one, and another one, and another one. It's not your choice. You are being controlled by people who recruited you into sex work. The other thing they would do is to introduce you into drugs so that you become so wild that you thirst for sex. So that you become so wild that when you do not take drugs, you don't feel like being yourself. You want drugs every minute because those people know that they will be making a lot of money out of your suffering, out of your pain, out of your tears, out of yourself as a person. Because the moment you are not on your own, the moment you are under a control of human traffickers, you don't have power to control yourself. You don't say, today I'm not in a good mood. They make you to be in a good mood. Ladies and gentlemen, members of the Wesley Guild, fellow Christians, friends, once you are trafficked and you are out of your home, you are in the hands of human traffickers. Okwakho kuphelile, okulawulayo kokwaba bantu bakutrafikileyo. Now, in South Africa, we have seen young girls being recruited, being trafficked. And sometimes, when you look at them, you see some of them standing in these little corners of each and every town. You go to Johannesburg, naba koma Hillbrow, naba koma Bruma, naba koma Braamfontein, koma Cape Town, naba pa, uyababona town kwabo Long Street, ungena ePort Elizabeth, uyababona koma Central. You go to East London, uyababona koma Quickney, another. You go to Mthatha, you go to Queenstown, you go to Polokwane, everywhere. You go to Durban. Now, ababantwana, when you look at them as they are in that business, they are not making money for themselves. They are making money for their bosses who recruited them into sex work. Now, when you look at that, sometimes when they are done with you, especially if you talk too much, then the next thing they would do is to make sure that they silence you. Bam. Abantu bethetha into engeyo bathi uzithobe kwi-11th floor, not knowing that the human traffickers that threw that young girl to the window bamthoba kulo-11th floor ayomkaleka ngesikali abhubhe. And therefore I want to appeal to you to be very careful when dealing with these people. A tricky question. Let me answer it before one asks. It's not easy to know, because it could be someone you know, it could be someone you trust most, it could be a friend, it could be a family friend. Is my neighbor, someone from my village, someone from my street, someone from my surroundings, someone from my church. Hey man, how did you become successful? Because in the Bonba, you are driving a very nice car, in Suyako, you've got 5 bedrooms house, you've got this and that and that. Then Lamdi will say to you, I became successful ever since I left the town of Qumbu, and then I went to Johannesburg or a Cape Town. You can join me if you want your life improved. Now, umama uti hamba sana lam. Kudala sisafarishe ekhaya. The Gildas, there are families that are suffering. And there are families that are suffering. When you walk into this house, yalo mama nabantwana bakhe, uthi wawujonga ubone ukuthi apha akukho nto. There are families that are suffering. We cannot run away from that. There are. We can be a church together. We can wear the very same royal blue and white. That's what I love about the Wesley Guild. That's what I love about the church, when it encourages us to wear the uniform when we go to church, so that umntana wesikoli, umntana ophuma kwikhaya lingenanto agqunywe yi-royal blue and white. Because xana sonke sikwi-royal blue and white, there's no one who could come to me and say, eyakwi royal blue and white ibhalwe ulamba, because the color is the same. Royal blue, royal blue. White shirt, white shirt. And therefore, sakufika pha siyalingana. Now, we need to understand that we come from backgrounds ezingafaniyo. I see to said sonke. Some of us are so fortunate enough ukuthi baphuma kumakhaya anezinto ezininzi. That's fine if kokwenu kuyahluthwa. But you must always keep in mind that njengoba ndilapha ndimi apha ecaweni, umama undinika yonke into endiyifunayo okanye utata, but the next person omi apha ecaleni kwam singing usiyakudumisa njengam, mhlambe yena khange atye kusasa. Her only hope yoba uza kutya kuxa siphuma apha sisiGildas sithi siyotya ilantshi phaa kwabanye. Ngokuya ke ibingekho i-lockdown besikwazi ukuphuma ezicaweni sihambe afike lo mntana. Xa esitya umbona apha ebusweni oba utyela nongomso, utyela even the previous day apha angakhange atye. That is why ke that fellowship, oba budlelwane babangcwele ndiye ndibuthande, because abo bantwana abade bakwazi ubona ukuzincama athi I can give everything endinayo for as long as ndiza kufumana into yokutya ngomso. Imeko zamakhaya, members of the Wesley Guild, fellow Christians, friends who might be watching me or listening as I am presenting this topic. This topic is very close to my heart when we talk trafficking in persons. Do you still remember imeko zamakhaya zifana? Do you still remember la mama wayengumhlolokazi esiya kumprofeti uElisha? 2 Kings chapter 4 verse 2. uElisha wathi, what can I do for you? What do you have back in your house? Ndikwenzele ntoni na? Unantoni na endlini? Watsho kulo mntu, la mntu mamela isizathu sokuya kwakhe. Ndifuna uyi-understand that the situation emakhaya ayikwazi kufana. Mna I may have everything, naxa ndizawupheka uvula ifridge uthi ndipheka ichicken, ndipheka ipork, ndipheka imutton, ndipheke ntoni kanene, but kukho lowa uthi esisonka ndizawusitya ndisithengelwe ngubani izolo, zawutya sona today, zawutya sona ngomso. Now ufika lo mama uthi umyeni wam mprofeti ubhubhile. Now uyayazi loo nto. You read that passage. Uthi ke abantwana bam bayathinjwa. There are circumstances sometimes apho abazali, especially when we go to those deep rural, ufike pha lo mama akananto kutya ade kuphume isimilo. I am not saying that is right. Aphume isimilo athengise ngomntanakhe, amyeke lo mntu abanefika for as long as ba umntana ezathi ncebuye abuye ephethe iplastiki ezinintsi zegrosari athi lo mama, it is well with my soul. Alibale into kokubana the pride of that young girl has been taken away. Lo mntwana uzincame kuba ecinga oba kanele lo tata undinika le mali akuzukutya mna ndedwa, kuza kutya mna nabantwana basekhaya. Ayilibale uburongo nesikizi laloo nto. Listen what she says in response to this question. I have nothing at all. The only thing I have is that bottle of olive oil. I have nothing at all. The only thing I have is that bottle of olive oil. Umkhonzi wakho akananto endlini, kuphela kwala bhotilana ine-olive oil. Wajonga wathi, go back to your house, uthathe la bottle, take that bottle with olive oil, get the empty containers. If you go to Israel, Palestine, the olive tree, that is one of izinto ezibalulekileyo kubo. Thatha ke ngoku is the empty bottles and pour that olive oil into those containers. And this poor woman, sometimes when you look at your parents, when they cry, praying for their children, you wouldn't believe. Lo mama wajika, phaya nxafika pha, wayihamba le container ine olive oil. Kwabekwa i-container ezininzi, wagalela. What I discovered is that kwakungagaleli lo mama. It is not this woman who was filling up these containers, but ubaba lo lukaThixo langena phakathi kwesandla sakhe nale container iphethe olive oil. Akwagalela yena, but isandla sakhe sabamba apha eqaleni kwecontainer. Kwagalela uThixo ngokwakhe egalela ezi container. Remember, xa kugalela yena ngokwakhe ayipheli into. Uyakhumbula izonka ezihlanu nenhlanzi ezimbini, only 2 pieces of fish and 5 loaves of bread, but uJesus wahluthisa millions zabantu, because in his hand iyajika ivalue yale nto unayo. So nawe, in his hand, abantu bangakubona as a child ophuma kwikhaya elingenanto, but in his hands awuhamba ngesakhe isandla. Awukhathali noba abantu becawa naba abantu bendawo ohlala kuyo bebengakufuni, but in his hands akubamba ngokwakhe. Because lo mhlolakazi wayecinga uyithatha ngokwakhe icontainer, wayengayazi oba ku-operate uThixo ngokwakhe. Nguyobamba icontainer, isandla salo mama senza sikwi-action, but phakathi kwesandla and the container kwakunobabalo. Phuma lo mama, because kukhona ixesha elinjalo nalapha ebantwaneni basecaweni. When you attend a weekend gathering of the Wesley Guild, the synod consultation, when you attend the leadership camp, when you eat, come Sunday morning, how I wish the days would be extended, because now I am coming back to the situation even the Shiakaya on a Thursday or Friday when I came to the synod consultation. On the other side, I want to encourage you, because I love you all. I once led this movement of the Wesley Guild. I led this movement. I don't know ukuthi mhlawumbe ezi challenges zange sibekho kakhulu ukuthi, but ngoku sithi nxa sibona inguqulelo zodwa, but simana ukuthi wena ungaguqukiyo hlala nami. Abanye ke abantwana kuzafuneka bayi-understand into yokokuba sele ungakuseli utywala, sele ungazityi iziyobisi, but at times if you are having your soft drink and you leave the can or a glass open unattended, you go and dance, you go and answer your calls, someone dropped a piece of its drug into your soft drink. You come back, you finish your glass, and you pass out. Some of these kids who were trapped into trafficking by the human traffickers, they were given drugs. When one wakes up, if you were trafficked from Cape Town, when you wake up after 12 hours, uselimpompo, usepulukwana, ukwenye indawo that you don't know, and you don't even know where you are, you don't even know where your mobile phone is, you don't even know where are your bank cards, where is your ID, you are just in the middle of nowhere, and you are in the hands of traffickers. I like to advise young people to say, if you answer your phone, thatha le glass yale drink yakho, thatha phone yakho ecaleni, uyathatha phone ubamba iglass, asisindi mntakababa. One hand kwiclass, one hand ifone mos ayikonga ngestena a concrete block up you need 2 hands to hold. Ibambe ngesandla sinye esinye sibambe iglass so that usinde. Sifuna ke into kokuba when you, as I'm speaking, if you suspect any trafficking in persons or human trafficking crime in your area, call on us. We've got our numbers here. We've got the National Human Trafficking Helpline. In the province of the Eastern Cape, we call our Lula Majek from the Hawks. He calls Johannesburg. He calls Bloemfontein, Mthatha, or wherever you are, if you can't get through to the hotline. Because that hotline, sometimes there will be high call volume, and then we are unable to get through. But if you call or you drop a text message to me, I know Guti Lula Majek from the Hawks in Eastern Cape, please help us here. She knows who to touch a Pulugwan so that you are safe. We are saying the police, and all of us will respond even to false alarms. Because at times people say, Umdwana Wam has been trafficked, and it's just a false alarm. But we do respond because you will never know until you respond. As I have mentioned that another phenomenon of Ukutwala, it targets young girls. In the Eastern Cape, we've got those areas of Bazia, of Ngobo, or Ngeleni, or Mkanduli, or Tocha, and in the Eastern Pondole, Gabon Sikisik, where Abantwana Abanini are forced into marriage. And then we are saying then to you, members of the Wesley Guild, sometimes in your synods, in your circuits, in your societies, man, let us all that Shumale and Daba say hi, Commandiana, hi, tell Ufuma Balumdan is so young, I tell him that hi. Not the Shumalo, Balas are not hey, but we need in the Bana sometimes during our youth month, since the impedation. So today we are not going to preach, but today we have invited Umtu who is going to share with us on issues of child exploitation, human trafficking, you name it. That will help you to empower yourselves and the society. That when parents will even change and say, "Hi no kongoku, abantwana bethu spot on," because bathetha ngezinto ezibalulekileyo that have to do with ubomi bethu. The youngest child I remember here in Eastern Cape, because I was there with Captain Jack Ululama from the Hawks, Kula Directorate for Priority Crime Investigation. Umdwana was 14 when Umama negotiated on her behalf. And she was just given the orders. 14-year-old man is 14 le ithi noba isesikoleni nxa ubuza ufunda bani akazuthi ndifunda ku grade bani uthi ufunda ugrade ngaba basithi igrade but ugrade kuthiwa makabe yinkosikazi nxa ufika emzini kaloku awungomntana esikolo ufika ube ngumfazi lo mntana usafuna unxityiswa usafuna ufinyiswa wendiswa. But we managed through the assistance of the SAPS, the assistance of the Hawks, nazo professors of SAPS. That 14-year-old was rescued. Some Kuba, it was a Christmas Eve. Sakumbula. Takoma and Katan, no one was to lambs. Who's a Nobama printing my go to go in the Christmas because who 14 Galogus and Neba, like Okinamaka. Ah, you go to law. Now, Oyana, the youngest, I know on human trafficking for sexual exploitation was 12. She was taken by other South African young girls. They were 4 and the Bangladesh national. They took this child, they kidnapped her, they sold her for sex. In the true sex, they sold the child for sex. Elala nabanina ofunuglala. That case was finalized in December last year, 12th and 13th. The Bangladesh national was sentenced to life imprisonment, and these 4 ladies were each given 24 years ngaphakathi etrongweni. Fellow Christians, I'm saying to you, because I know some of you are bleeding. Some of you are bleeding because you have a wounded history. You have a wounded background. When you look back, uthi wawubona ubone ukuthi ndiyopha. But umsebenzi wegilikidi is to restore obabuntu. Ifaki polifila, ivali crack, is to restore, ikoleke the pieces of that broken soul. Yenze reconstruction kumntwana who has been beaten and broken into pieces because of the circumstances. That is the duty Wesley Guild. Kuni dipeksa kuni lo. Okugqibela emandi kubhekise kuni i-human trafficking yenziwa nangubani benditshilo kuni bagadeni abantu abaninika imisebenzi. Uma ngaba umuntu uthi nanku umsebenzi nawe ubuqonda ba andikho sure, ndiyacela sithumeleleni lento or go to a police station ucele phaya kuba abanayo ioffice yaHawks uthi babanise ku-crime intelligence uthi ke ngoku ndifumana lo msebenzi so that u-crime intelligence akwazi ukuncedisa ukujonga uba ingaba ngumsebenzi ogenuine nalona. Because i-problem yam, once you jump for la msebenzi, there is no turning back. Njengoba benditshilo kuni, go to the police station uphethe lento. I know ukuthi abanye nakoma-PE umakoti waphuma ekhaya esiya kwi-interview, nxefika kwi-interview zangaphinda buyele ekhaya. Abanye ke bayasifowunela athi mna bendibiziwe kule ndawo, siyithathe le ndawo sithi Captain Jack khawusijongele le ndawo uba yindawo ekhoyo nale. Babaleke bayoyijonga babuye bathi majola siyile kule address sifike phaya kuhlelwe apha. I remember ndizulibiza ke igama. Omnye umntana uyokuthathwa nguCaptain Lula Majeka apha eRhawutini e-OR Tambo efumana umsebenzi ngaphandle. Now nxa kufumanisa ivisa ithi working is prohibited, kodwa ufumana into ethi uzophangela. Okulandelayo xana beyisearcha kwela lizwe besebenzisana no-Interpol kufumaniseka uba hayi mani kusemzini nje apha. So lo mntana beza kumkapha yena sithi ufumene umsebenzi ombhatala in US dollars, xa efika phaa akho msebenzi ubhatala in US dollars. Basekhona abantwana abasafunwayo abase-under u-missing person kwizitishi zamapolisa across the country abaziwa uba bayokuphelela phina. Elokugqiba mna ndithi iWesley Guild yindawo yabantu abatsha ebekumele into yokokuba bonke abantwana who come from those corners belila, iWesley Guild should embrace those kids. Bemdaka bengenanto uba nikuthando ndipho lo thando ndibathande bonke ngomphefumlo nangengqondo nangamandla onke. Iduty leyo, because kwi-Forces for Christ kumele into yoba siyafundisana oba noba lo mntana uvela kweliphicala, ours is to embrace and love and welcome la mntwana engena apha ecaweni uthi you are my brother, you are my sister. Okulandelayo, iWesley Guild should change its style of preaching. No, andithi wrong ukushumayela uKristu emnqamlezweni, but baqiniseke into yoba when I preach andipreachi ngento yoba ubani bendimbone kwaShoprite esenza into ethile, hayi outdated loo nto uzoshumayelela ulwimi obuluvilapha. but sibawela iWesley Guild ethi nxa ibona umntwana ongena with a broken heart, with a wounded soul, but iWesley Guild imfake kwi-dressing room and try into okokuba lo mntwana imlungise, because aba bantwana when they are destroyed by ilizwe bebaleka bebheke ecaweni bangena emnyango esithi ndifuna wena Yesu, ndiyakwanela nguwe. There is nothing else abayifunayo, abakhathelele position, abakhathelele nix. The only thing, ndifuna wena Yesu, ndiyakwanela nguwe. Nawe iduty yethu ngoba sibambane kakuhle, sibasondeze, sikwazi into yokokuba nxana simke emhlabeni ikhona imark oyishiyileyo kumntwana ongenanto, oyishiyileyo kumzali ongenanto. If ningahlala kuloo nto, niyilwe nifundisane, ningangeni kwindawo enokwenza uba uphume ungazazi uba kwenzeke ntoni kuwe, ugade into oyityayo, uyigade into oyigaleleyo evulekileyo ingagalelwa ziyobisi, wakufumana umsebenzi noba kuthi ungabaxelele ootshomi baxelele wawugqiba uye nale nto yomsebenzi epolice station iyokuqinisekiswa ngamapolisa, ndiqinisekile uba ningasinda nina. Hambani ke ngoku nokufundisa abanye okokubana ukuba ngaba nifuna ukusinda kwi-human trafficking, the law enforcement agents mayingashiywa ngaphandle. Xa umuntu ebheka kwisikolo esithile, xa umuntu ebheka kumsebenzi othile, uba niyenzile loo nto, ze nazo uba noThixo uya kunibulela, nihlale nisasi nje ukuba ukubulaleka kwenu akulambathe enkosini. uThixo makahambe nani, uThixo makanicine, uThixo makanithande, uThixo niphephise nakwesi sifo siquqisayo, nihlale emakhaya nizilumkele. Athi umuntu uthe wafunyanwa siso angoyiki ukubaleka yokuxelela abazempilo ukuze akwazi ukunikwa amacebo aphile. Amen.